Welcome all, Boone here from EWPRO. So we had quite an interesting week last week. So DXY, nothing's changed on the daily. We got that bullish divergence. I'm looking for that larger correction, like I've been saying for quite a while. Very choppy here though. Sort of look, only got 3 up, and it's very choppy. Got this correction in here, so yeah. H4, just looking for this 5 up. We got a nice impulse up, and we got that 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So I was looking for that 5 up. Sometimes we only get 3. Sometimes we just only get an impulse, and that's it. That's the end of the move. So we sort of have to be a little bit careful. This in here is looking corrective though. Is it finished? Well, we'll have a look. But yeah, we got 3 down in here on the H4. So I was looking for that buy in there during last week. So this was, if we look on the H1, we can sort of see this is definitely a B wave in here. So once this went, I was thinking, okay, this is great. You know, we've got a 1, 2, 3 down. But when we sort of broke out of here, and now we've come back under this trend line, so you have to be very careful here. So you have to start looking for a different structure. So I'm looking at this as an A, B, C as an expanding flat in here. And then we get that A, B, C as an expanding flat in here. And then we get this larger A, B, C. So this is a possible structure to finish off this X, just because of what's happened here. Like I said, we broke out and then we've come back. So you have to be careful when you see this. This is something I teach in my group, but yeah, so it's hard now. If this was going to go, I would have liked to see it go, give a flag up here, and then go, you know, keep on going. It sort of broke out and come back, so it makes it hard because we can possibly get that larger one down, you know, for an A, B, C, for an expanding flat in here, for a larger A, B, C to finish off the X wave, and then we get a Y up, or it just might be an A, B, and a C up. We don't know yet, but I am looking for more upside. You can scalp the short, you know, because we do have that possible structure there. So AU daily. So this is looking very corrective up here, and we've broken this trend line. So I'm not looking for buys. You know, we have bearish divergence on the daily. Again, during the week, we got this A, B, C up. So I was sort of looking for because we got 3 in here. We got 1, 2, 3 in here. Then 1, 2, 3. I was counting it as a W. So then I was looking for a similar 1, 2, 3. I was looking for that 1, 2, 3 in here. Started to go. It hasn't broken the trend line yet. But yeah, I was looking for that 1, 2, 3 for a Y. and then possibly an X, and then maybe a Z down on the H4. On the daily, on the H1, sorry. So you can see the 3 down. We got 1, 2, 3. Then we got 1, 2, 3. So I'm looking for that 5 down, or maybe 3 down, or maybe just that impulse. But I am looking for more downside. Going off the daily as well, we got that bearish divergence. So I don't want to be sort of buying. The problem here on the H1 chart is we have that possible ball hidden here. And sorry, there wasn't any bearish divergence on the H1. But so we may get one more up to finish off that X, and then give us that 1, 2, 3 down, or an impulse down. So it's a little bit tricky because we got that ball hidden. So we definitely can't rule that out. How I would play this now is we can see that we got a little, this was sharp, but we got that ball hidden. So this is sort of A, B. We may get a C up in here, and then it might fall over. So you could put a sell stop. You'd have to wait until the market's opened, and because we don't know if it's going to gap lower or gap higher. But if you don't get much of a gap at the open on Monday, and you just get a move up here, then you can put this sell stop on. And if it's going to go from here, and that's the end of the correction, well, if you can put a sell stop there, and you know, wherever this wave ends, you can use that as your stop loss. That's sort of how I'll be playing it. So at least go and break this low. Ideally get to the 100 fib. But like I said, we do have that possible ball hidden, and it can go and break that top. So if we go down on the M15, we might be able to see something in here. Yeah, see, we've got bullish divergence on the M15. We've got a little flag in here. So you can look for that buy, you know, and maybe it will go and break that top. This can also be an A, B, C in here, and then just give that C up though. So you sort of definitely want to be at break even at the break of that, and then you could hold it, you know, to go and break that top. So EU on the daily, like I said last couple of weeks, we got this, and this is still looking corrective as well. It's very slow. This hadn't given us that impulse. We do have bearish divergence, and it has broken this trend line as well. So, you know, I've been looking for the sell, you know, for a long time. So nothing's changed on the H4 really. We got that, like I've been saying, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and I'm looking for that 5 down. Or it can be just the one impulse. This is looking reasonably corrective. If we go down to the H1, this was tricky because we got a contracting flat. It may be a contracting flat. The problem with contracting flats are you're never going to know. They can always give that extra one up. That's what makes contracting flats very hard to trade, because you're never going to know. This is looking very corrective in here, you know. So this is looking like an A, B, C. That's why I was looking for that as a contracting flat. It's sort of broken down in here. I think we get I'm looking at it as a contracting flat. It's not confirmed, but just looking at the price action, it would have been nice, you know, would have been nice if this did go and break that top, you know, break that top and then give this, you know. Sometimes price action doesn't do that, and we just have to play out what we get. If we go, there's not really a setup on it because it's very tricky because we have that contracting flat. We do have a, well, the problem is because we got a contracting flat, we got that, I'm pretty sure on my platform, I'm not sure on this one, but we have bear hidden. Yeah, see, we got bear hidden there. And it's gone and broken that low now. Do we have bullish divergence? No, we don't have any bullish divergence. So it's made it tricky because that bear hidden played out. So this can be sort of, this is sharp, you know. So yeah, it's really tricky because it is well, I'm looking at it as a contracting flat to go and break this low, at least go and break that low, but it's going to be quite tricky to trade. I think there's better pairs to trade than this one because like most of the others, this can still go up here and give an A, some sort of an A, B, C in here for a like a running, just a regular flat in the B wave, like A, B, and then give a C up and then fall over for another A, B, C. So yeah, but the price action, I don't like the price action on it. It's very tricky to trade. I'll just go down on them 15, see what, yeah, see you're getting a bull flag in here too. Not sure if there's any, yeah, we've got bullish divergence as well. So you probably could look, if you really wanted to trade it, well, it's not really a flag. You'd have to buy above here, have your stop, see where you gap on the Monday, but you could, you know, buy this at the break of the top, have your stop loss there or just under the wherever this low here is, and buy to go and break that top. Pretty risky, but yeah, I think there's better trade setups than this one, but there is a buy setup there on the M15. GU on the daily, again, we got bearish divergence. This one hasn't broken out of the trend, but this is looking very corrective up here. I definitely don't want to be selling this, you know. Sorry, buying. I don't want to be buying this. Yeah, we're right at the top. So on the H4, we got this bull hidden. This is the problem. We got a bull hidden here. This is looking very corrective though. So this is pretty tricky as well. We've got one, A, B, C. Sorry about that. Back to GU on the H4. So we got this bull hidden here. So we have to be careful. This is looking very corrective though. If we go down to the H1, so we got this A, B, C in here. Then we got not really impulsive, but we sort of got a 1, 2, 3 in here for a 1, 2, 3. So this one here didn't break the top either. So this wave, it would have been nice if we got this A, B, C in here and broke that top, but it never broke that top. So it makes it hard because this can be a contracting flat for a 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then we get 5 down. That's what I was sort of looking for. It's hard because it's risky because we got these contracting flats. There was a nice trade on this one. It did give a nice correction in here, so we could trade this. You know, got a nice correction in here. I took it and took half off here at the 100 fib, and it sort of kept on coming. So I just closed it. It's Friday. It was Friday, so I just closed it just to see what, you know. It's very hard to hold this because, again, we got that contracting flat, so it makes it difficult because we can get that. Like this is the contracting flat in here, and then we get that A, B, C. So it makes it difficult. I think when I had a look on the M15, so we're getting that bull. We don't have any bullish divergence on this one. So you're probably better if you're going to scalp this flag up for a larger C up. If we get that, you're probably better off to go with the GU, because on the GU, on the EU, because on the EU we have that bullish divergence and a flag. This one doesn't have any bullish divergence, so this flag's a little bit more risky, but again, it still can give us that larger C up before it falls over. Yeah. NU on the daily. This one's broken out of the trend line, looking very corrective up here. We got that bearish divergence. You can see this is looking very corrective. On the H4, we just got one down and we're getting correction. So if we go down to the H1, oops. So this one gave us a better looking, well, this wasn't really impulsive, but it's given us a better correction. We can sort of got 3 in here, but this is looking very choppy in here. So this may be an A, B, C for an A, B, C, and then we get the larger A, B, C as well, before it falls over, before, if I zoom out. So it may give one more up here. Contracting, expanding flat in here for a 1, A, B, C up here, and then go. So you have to be careful of that. It is looking, again, like most of them, they're pretty much all giving the same thing. You can put a sell stop at the low, wherever this goes. I'll just zoom in a bit. Well, if I go down to the M15 to show you this little correction, but again, this one's got bullish divergence. So, you could take this flat here if you're looking to go for that break of that top, because we do have that bullish divergence. But you have to be very careful because this is looking like a flat, and it can just be 1, 2, 3 up here, break that top, or not even break that top. Just come up here, just break this top, and then you get that 1, 2, 3 as a running flat, and it goes from there. You could put your sell stop there or go onto the lower time frames and wait for this wave to be over. There's a number of different ways you can trade it. The way we trade it, there's a few different ways, and you can learn all them in the group. just join up, and yeah. UY on the daily. This one, I don't know if you remember, if you go back in my weekly outlooks a couple of weeks ago, I was looking at this. I wanted this to go and break this top to get rid of this bear hidden here, because we still have this bear hidden in play. Would have been nice if this top got broken. It still hasn't been broken on the daily, so there still is that possible bear hidden, you know, and this is all that we get, an A, B, C, and you know, that's it. And then we go for lower, like for the A, B, C. So it's getting tricky because we haven't taken out that bear hidden yet, and it's giving a correction up the top. So we'll have a look at this on the H4. It's looking very chop. It's looking more corrective for more upside. There is no bearish divergence in this up move. So in this up move, there's no bearish divergence. So I was looking at this as a little flat in here, more upside. I think I put a buyout on it last week. It didn't go. The correction was too early. I think it was up in here. I was looking for that little flag up in here. It did go. You more than likely would have got a break even, you know. If you took this, well, I think it was already over here, you know. If you did take it, you had plenty of time to get out. As soon as you see something like this, you know, you just get out at break even, or take a couple of pip hit, you know, and wait until see what it does. This is looking very choppy though, you know, like it's looking bullish. It's not really giving a buy setup though. This can be an A, B, C in here, you know, for more downside, you know. It's very choppy, and we sort of have to wait for the correction to be over. We don't know what sort of correction we're going to get, you know. You're never going to know what sort of correction you're going to get. These can become very hard, you know. Like this can be an A, B, C in here for an A, B, C, you know. There's a number of different structures that can happen in here. You're at a top with that possible bear hidden. The bear hidden isn't confirmed, of course, but there is still that possible bear hidden on the daily. So, you know, you have to be careful, because they can just fall over on you. But this is looking more bullish, in my opinion. You know, it may not be over. Like I said, we may get another one up here, and then another one down here to finish it off, and then go. We'll just have to play it by ear. This is going to be really hard, more for the experienced traders, because we're at a high, and there is that possible bear hidden. So yeah, but I do think there's more upside in it. If you're holding the long, well, I'd keep on holding it, because this is looking still bullish, in my opinion. You Sheffy. So nothing's changed. This one we did, like I've been saying, we got that break of this top. So we, on the weekly, we still haven't hit that 50 fib. I'm ruling that X, well, the Z out. It may still happen, but it's pretty unlikely now to get that Z down. I'd be more inclined to, on the daily, I'd be more inclined to wait for a larger correction, wait for a daily correction. But you can scalp it on the on the lower time frames. So we don't have any bearish divergence on the H4. And this one here, again, this is very choppy. It's looking like a B wave. So this can be an A, B, C. Then we get an A, B, C. So again, they all can still give another one down before, well, US weakness for another one down on the Sheffy and then go. So I took this in here Friday. Moved to the break even at the break of this top. I got out. It come back. I got out for a few pips. It didn't hit me stop loss at break even, but I just got out because it was Friday and it didn't go. If it was going to go, it should have went, but it didn't go, so I just got out. So I'll wait to see what happens on Monday. It is looking bullish though, but again, like I was saying, it can be an A, B, C in here before you get an A, B, C before it goes. So you just have to be a little careful and watch the structure, what it's giving you. On the M15, see, it's not giving a flag in here. It can maybe an A, B, C in here, scare me out of the trade and then go. Might put a buy stop just above there with a stop loss, to try and get a little bit more upside out of it. I'll see what happens because this was a reasonably large correction in here. So, I was expecting more upside, but it just didn't go. And it was Friday, so I'll see what happens Monday. UCAD, I'm only looking for upside on the daily. There is still plenty of room down to the 100 fib. We do have a lot of bullish divergence, so there's no way I'm going to be selling this, I've got bullish divergence on the daily, so a lot of bullish divergence. H4, sort of this one here, it's gone a little bit too far for a flat. I was sort of looking for a flat in here, get that C up. There still is this chance of like a W, X, Y, X, Z in here, internal. May not be over. But when we have a look at the H1, we had 5 down. So I was sort of thinking that this is over, but it may be, excuse me, an extended wave in here. So we got a W, X, Y, X, Z down with bullish divergence. There still may be H4X2, so we may get something like this, in the next two. But this was very sharp. It wasn't sort of, we'll sort of have to look at it something like this as an expanding triangle, like an A, B. I don't like it. C. Well, it's not even a it's not even a triangle, but some sort of a flat in here. But maybe some sort of a flat in here. So we may get something like this in an X2 before we get a Z down. Wave Y, X, and a Z. If that happens, I doubt that this is a flat. I was really looking for this sharp move up, This was very deep. That's why I was looking at this as a flat correction or as a B wave. But if we get that extended wave, we've got an extended wave in here. It may still give that X2 and then a Z down. That will finish off the move, and then we should see the larger correction that I'm looking for on this daily. we've got a lot of bullish divergence. We're looking for that 50 fib retrace, you know. So eventually we will get a larger correction. It may not get to the 50 fib, but you know, I'll be looking for that larger correction. Eventually we should get that. This one hasn't broken out of that trend line. It did try to break it through around here, but it still never did break it. So we still are in that downtrend. I'm only looking for buys. If you get any sort of buy set up, you know, you can look for the buys. If I just go to the M15, see, I took this in here Friday and come back, took me out at break even, you know. So yeah, we got 3 down in here. It was looked nice, and I thought, oh, this is, you know, as soon as it broke the top, you know, I'll move it to break even, and it just come down, took me out. So I'm gonna have to wait to see what we get Monday, and yeah, I'm only looking for upside. If I get any bullish setup, I'll take the buy. I'm not really interested in that large, well, that H4 internal Z down, you know. I'd rather wait until it's over and then wait for a nice buy setup and take the buy. Not really interested in the sell on it. GY. This one keeps on going. We've gone past the 100 fib, we're in the wave white, and the 161's right up here still. No bearish divergence. Sort of looking for this, you know, like I said last week, sort of again, it still hasn't given it. It's given a cross down now. We've got bearish divergence, so you can look for that sell. You could have looked for the sell. Sort of looking for this, you know, and then something to buy for a buy. If I get the buy set up, I'll look for the buy as a flat in here. Or if this gives it like a bearish flag or correction, I'll look for the sell because it's at a high. You know, we may get a bigger correction, you know. Sorry about that, getting a lot of interruptions. But yeah, so on the H4, this may be a flat, running flat or expanding flat for more upside, or we may get a sell set up. And we get a larger correction. Another 5 down for a daily wave X2. On the H1, we got bearish divergence. I'll be more inclined to look for a sell here, though. We got bearish divergence. You know, if you get a little flag in here, you can look for the sell just for an A, B, C, and it may keep on going for the larger correction, or it'll give you a reversal. Look for the 100 fib of this wherever the correction ends. You know, as your first target, take half off, and yeah, that's what I'll be looking for. So if you get some sort of a correction in here, look for the sell down to the 100 fib. And if it comes out, takes you out at break even, or you didn't take it half off, gives you a bullish sell up, well, you can take that buy to go and break the top for this flat. But we are getting up to a top. Like if you're buying, well, your ultimate target is at 161.8. There's still plenty of room, but yeah. EG. So I'll go to this. Sort of, I was looking for that buy last week. It didn't go. I got a break even on it. I'll show you on the lower time frames. But the reason I'm looking for the buy is because we've got an A, B, C in here. I'm looking for this to go and break that top on the daily. On the H4, I was looking for an A, B, C in here, just an A, B, C. or a reversal, but I was mainly just looking for the ABC because we got this sharp move up here on H4. So on the H1, I was sort of looking for that. Well, if I just go back to the H4 again for a tick, this was the invalidation point of the trade view idea. But like I said last week, the wave B can break that low and then still go. We did get this move up here, and it quickly come back down, and I had 2 trades on it. I think I took one in here somewhere and another one in here. Come back, took me out, break even, so I didn't get anything out of it, but I'm still looking for the buy just for an A, B, C. We go to the H1 and take this off. See, we got that sharp move up. It didn't go, just went straight back down. This is looking choppy. Now we're getting a little flag in here, bullish flag. This was quite deep, like this was quite a deep correction. So taking this flag is quite risky, but I will look for it again on Monday. If I get something that finishes it off, some sort of correction on the lower time frames, I'll look on the lower time frames. If I get a buy set up, I'll take it. Sort of getting, what I didn't like was this very deep correction. So I was looking for just an A, B, C. This can be just a regular flat and go and break that low. So that's why I don't like that deep correction. But if I do see a little flag in here, or even a correction, I will look for that buy. And the target will be the 100 fib still. I'll have to probably adjust this to the low. So I'm still looking for that C. And yeah, the second target is that 161.8 in case we do get that daily, C up for the daily. Gold. So not much changed on the daily. I'm looking for that larger correction. Like I said last week, we may come up to this trend line. We may get an A, B, C up to this trend line and then fall over, because this is a very large correction. I think gold is we're going to be in a large correction, and it's going to be choppy for a long time. Like I've been saying on the weekly, So yeah, it's going to be difficult to trade this one for quite a while. This is looking very slow. So this can just keep on crawling up, and then fall over. Give us one more down. It's going to be quite difficult to trade, because I think we are starting to get that larger correction, the W1 correction. On the H4, well, I'm looking for this like A, B, C, and then a C up, larger C up. So I'm looking at this as a B wave in here for a running flat. Again, it hasn't broken this top yet. If we look on the H1, it's looking very choppy. This C up's looking very choppy, which makes it hard. But we did have, I think last week, I was looking at this A, B, C and looking for this one down. I know I put this out in the room. I think it was Wednesday when it was up here. There was a little bear flag up here for this. For that, just as for a flat, and it didn't quite get there, but nice pips in it, and sort of, if we go down to the M15, you might see it better. So this is going to be hard now to trade because we've got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up. We got bearish divergence. So it's going to be, this may be some sort of a leading diagonal, but if it is a leading diagonal, we'd be expecting the larger correction to be deep. Usually after a leading diagonal, you get that deeper correction, like down to the 78.6 or sometimes even to the 90 fib when we get those leading diagonals. Maybe a leading diagonal and keep on going, and it's going to be difficult to trade though because we already have that bearish divergence. You don't really want to be jumping in on this. You know, this was your trade in here. Break of that top, break of that top, or that top, whichever one you took. Again, break even, very difficult to trade. Yeah. WTI took a while this one to go, but it did eventually go. Last week I was looking at this on the daily. We're at the top. So if we have a look at the daily, we're at the 100 fib and we've got that bearish divergence. So sort of want to take this sell. Last week, you know, I think we're up here and was looking for this sell. First target was at 100 fib. It actually come down to the 61.8, which is good. So now we can wait for like a W, X, Y, X, Z. We may get a Z down in here on the H1. So I'm looking for this X2. I can really take that off because we hit that 161.8. So we can draw the retracement fib. Oh. So we're already at the 38.2. So we may get something like 1, 2, 3 down here and then another one up. So an A, B, C, because this was a rather large correction before we get that Z down. That's what I'll be looking for this week. We've broken this trend line. So we may just give some sort of correction in here and then go. Just have a look on the M15 to see if we got any sort of a structure happening. Nah, not really. There's nothing. We've got 1, 2, 3 in here. For an A, B, C. Then it come down, broke that low. Very difficult to trade. If you took any sort of a sell setup in here, you would have got taken out. So it's sort of giving a bullish move up here. So it's you have to wait for a really nice setup, wait for the correction to be over before you look for the buy or sell. Yeah. we're retesting this trend line, so it's going to be risky. You got to wait for the time factor in this correction here and this correction here. Bitcoin on the daily, there's nothing on the daily. We just got internal bearish divergence just in here. H4, I'm looking for this on the H4. Sort of, we got this move down here. I was looking at this. If you go back a few weeks, I was looking for this to go A, B, C, go and break that low. So then we could all buy. We did get a buy set up in here. It never went. It was a break even, and then it gave a deep correction in here. Now I'm looking at it as a W, X, Y, X, Z, and then possibly an A, B, C to give us that running or expanding flat before we get any more upside, or we're going to get that larger correction. We're right at the top, so yeah. But I am expecting that H4 Z up to go and break this top. We do have that bull hidden there, so I am looking for that to break the top. On the H4, there's bull hidden there. You have a look, we got bull hidden there. So on the H1, it's not really, it's very, it's very risky because you got 1, 2, 3, 4. This is looking corrective in here, but it should go and break that top. It may just break that top. Hopefully it goes and breaks that top. Breaks that top, then gives you an impulse down and then a sell set up. And you can look for that sell. I'll be more inclined to sell because you're right at the top. And we're sort of looking for at least this, so we're looking for this. That'll be the larger impulse, I think. Even if it's just a corrective impulse wave C, at least you'll be buying at a lower, something lower than right at the top. This is virtually right at the top, so it's not really giving a setup to buy because it's very risky. Like I said, we've already got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, nearly already got the fifth wave, and we more than likely break that top, and we're going to get bearish divergence. So very risky. I'd be more inclined to wait for this top to be over, give us more divergence on the H4, and then wait for that trend line break and correction to sell. Well, I'm not really interested in the buy. SPX. So on the daily, it's right up the top. Again, you don't really want to be selling and buying it. Unless you know what you're doing, keeping tight stops. H4, we got bearish divergence. And I was looking for this break last week. Last weekly outlook, we got the break there. Be more inclined to sell this, but sort of, we can see that we sort of got 5 subwaves in here, so maybe we'll get a larger correction in here before we can sell for at least a B, C. Yeah, I'm only looking for the sells. If we go down on the M15, you can see that we've got those 5 down. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with bullish divergence. So more than likely, you can look for the buy, for a C up or something, for a larger C up. But against this low. But really, you can only, yeah, I'd be waiting for the correction in here before looking for another sell. The DAX. So the DAX we've got a lot of bearish divergence on the daily. There's still a little bit of room up on the to the 100 fib, but we're already getting that bearish divergence. So we've lost we do have bearish divergence on the H4 between this top and here, but there's a lot that happened in here, so I'm not really looking at that as bearish divergence. We got this bearish divergence. We don't have any bearish divergence between this top and this top. So what do we got? A 1, well, an A or W, X, Y, X, Z. Look for that Z to finish off that daily C up. And then we should be looking at a larger correction, or maybe even a 50% retrace on the daily. Right? So 50% retrace on the daily around here somewhere. We may get, once this C wave's over, we may get larger ABC down here. I'm really only looking for the sells because we have that bearish divergence already. On the H1, I don't think there is anything. Actually, it's not looking too bad. We got W, X, Y, X, Z, and we have that bearish divergence now. So yeah, if I get the trend line, already breaking out of that trend line. Sort of really would like nice impulse down, breaking this low here, then a correction, some sort of a correction in here, trend line break, flag. It'll most likely take a while to get this set up, but that's the safest way to get the setup. M15, yeah, see, it's giving more of a bullish setup on the M15. It's not really may go up here and then down before it gives an A, B, C. Before we don't have any bullish divergence, so we'll most likely get some sort of a leading diagonal, W, X, Y, X, Z. Probably a larger correction because we've got a leading diagonal to the 78.6 or the 90 fib, and then another 5 down. It may be the 5 down, the next 5 down may be an extended wave, so it might be worth looking for that short. But again, you'll have to wait. You can look for the Z down, scalp it, and then wait for the larger correction, and then look for another 5 down. The Ftse, I didn't do this last week because it was very choppy in here on the H4, so I sort of left it last week. But we got this on the, it may be finished now because we've got a break of this top on the H4. But on the daily, I'm looking for that A, B, C. Then on the H4, we got this. This is why I left it last week because very choppy. It did go and break this top, so and we have bearish divergence now. So we got an A, B, C. Didn't get to the 100 fib. Didn't get to the 100 fib, but that's okay. It may be over, it may not be. This may be like an A, B, C in here for one more up, or it may not. I'll be more inclined to look for the sells though, because of what's happening on the daily. this is pretty tricky pair to trade, because you can see how choppy it is, you know, even down here, it's very choppy. Difficult to trade. You virtually have to just get on down the bottom somewhere if you're looking for the buy, and then just hold it, or else you're just going to get taken out, because deep pullbacks, you know, difficult to trade. It's more of a longer term. You want to look for the daily structures and trade the daily time frames, because if you're looking at the H1, you know, it's just so choppy. You couldn't day trade it. It's very difficult day trade. But yeah, so if you get any sort of a sell setup, you can see we got bearish divergence here. You know, bearish divergence. So, you know, if you get some sort of a sell setup, look for the sell. So that's about it this week. I hope you enjoyed the weekly outlook. I hope you catch a few trades next week. It's going to be a little bit difficult, like I've explained. You know, there's a lot of contracting flats in that, and they can be difficult to trade. I got quite a few break-even trades and a few pips here and there, but yeah, it wasn't the best week for me. You know, but yeah, we get those weeks. So